Hello, welcome back to Mansell Media Corner, and today I'm going to talk about a certain year called 1984, which has got a lot of classic films, albums, singles, toys, deaths, and births. So let's start with some albums what came out this year. Starting off in 1984 was a new wave of British heavy metal band from the West Midlands. So you can't really tell, but it's the bass player of this certain band called Cloven Hoof, Lee Payne, and this is their self-titled album. See some great songs. So that's Cloven Hoof. One of the most iconic metal bands of all time, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people are concerned. This particularly was Iron Maiden, and its power life starts off with the legendary Isis High, ends with the epic Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Then Diamond David Lee Roth's Last Van Halen album. As you can see, the album's actually 1994. It's got the singles Jump, which was a big single back then. Got Panama, which is a great song, and Hot for Teachers, a really awesome double bass drum intro from Edward Van Halen. What a lineup this was. Is the great Eddie Van Halen on top. Then we got another West Midlands legendary band, released Defenders of the Faith in 1984. What a great album this is. But also in 1994 you had Ride the Lightning by Metallica, great metal album. Rats. I think it's their first album, as well as Wasp. But Rats is more famous for Round and Round, which is a really fun music video. If you've never seen it, just click onto YouTube and just put Rats Round and Round. It's such a tune. But you also had Tina Turner, Private Dancer, Radio The Works by Queen, of course, which has got Radio Gaga on as a single, Born in the USA, by the boss himself, Bruce Springsteen. Let's talk about comic books, what came out. There's only one I can think of. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. What a legendary storyline this was. Famous for the first appearance of them would be Venom, but it was the black costumed Spider-Man who he is. One for Evander himself, over at slow reviews. This was the 30th anniversary edition. So that's comic books. On to TV shows, which was around this period. The Final Battle, again, an awesome show. See what a logo it is. If you've never seen these shows originally, then worth checking out if you like your science fiction, stroke, horror, whatever you class that. But and see Michael Ironside's in this would like to be in Nobody, which is a great film in its own right. And we've got, speaking of it, we've got the original complete series, which ran from 1984 to 1985. Then in the UK we've got The Day with the Bill. What a great series. I think that might be put out by Network. Well, it may have been. Network releases. And The Family Nest, which I remember watching. It used to be on the Broom Cupboard, which I think was presented by Philip Schofield when I was little. We had Whack-A-Day, what a show that is. I've got a question about that. You had Tommy Boyd and who were the other two members of Whack-A-Day? Anybody remember? I know two of them, but I can't remember what the other one was. So if you remember, let me know in the comments. Anyhow, back to TV. So you had an awesome show, Spitting Image, which is a great TV show in its own right. Still going strong, but it's I believe it's on ITVB. And of course, Thomas the Tank Engine, famous, presented by, first narrated by the great Ringo Starr, of course, of the Beatles fame, used to play the drums. But in America, he had the likes of The Cosby Show with Bill Cosby, Murder, She Wrote. Of course, one of the legendary shows toylined of this particular year, which I'll get to in the breaking news stories. Transformers. But also in the UK we had Prisoner Cell Blockade, which was a great show in its own right. So technically that's the music and TV. But in singles, musically, we've got some legendary. So we've got Like a Virgin, of course, by the legendary Madonna, still going strong for her age. Like I said, we had Van Halen with Jump. Bon Jovi released Runaway, which is a great song. Don't know if they play it as often, but it's an awesome song. And he had a Newcastle band called the Toy Dolls, who released a punk version of Nelly the Elephant, which I had. So my mum got me as a single with Walking in the Air, of course, by the legendary Ali Jones. He had Never Ending Story by Lamal, Queen, Radio Gaga came out. Private Dancer, of course, by Tina Turner was a big single. And another question: what is the other single by Tina Turner off that album? Let me know in the comments for the answers. Anyhow, back to the list. So we got the films next. There's some awesome legendary films what we've got to talk about. Starting with a film I remember watching when I was 3, because my father at the time went to live from over the road where I lived. The Muppets type Manhattan. There's not so old Alan himself, Kermit's Ghost, awesome YouTuber. If If you haven't subscribed, you should do. He's an amazing guy and knows everything about film. And yeah, on the Funko we've got Kermit himself, Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, the Mad Drummer himself, Animal, who's my favourite of all the Muppets. See there, Ralph the dog. Which is like, it's like a musical, this movie is. Here's Miss Piggy. There's cameos from Sesame Street. Then an absolute classic action film. Action stroke horror depends, but I'll class it as an action film. It's only the legendary Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. Classic, of course. First time you hear him say, I'll be back in that film. And of course, some legendary films are going to be out in a short time. About that, just got a legendary Ghostbusters directed by the late great Ivan Reitman. As you can see, what an all-star cast. Dan Aykroyd, who's recently just done, I think it's a Whiskey. Got the legendary Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver. Look at that though for special features. But also in this one I've just said we've got Neverending Story. Absolute classic film. Amazing fun, amazing song, of course by Lamar. Footloose, which is another great soundtrack by Kenny Loggins, who would like to do Top Gun. Danger Zone, if I recall rightly. We got a classic Christmas film, if you class it as that, in Gremlins, with Gizmo, etc. And of course we got the debut of Police Academy. What can I say? Another great legendary comic. But in the horror films, you've got the debut of Robert Englund himself as Freddy Krueger in this particular year. And of course you got, I know I could understand why a lot of people hate this film in the BlueTube community. It's a very slow paced film, but it's David Lynch's least favourite film. He doesn't like you talking about it, I don't think. But it's a legendary Dune with Patrick Stewart, Dean Stockwell, who'd like to be in it. Yeah, you got Dean Stockwell. I just think then what he was in, but and of course he had a guy for Newcastle in Sting, of course. So let's talk about certain births, and there are some legends. So in 1984 we had the founder now of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Bizarrely, he was born this particular year. Scarlett Johansson, of course, Black Widow herself. Katy Perry, you know, famous for I Kissed a Girl. Of course, what a great song that is, a couple of years ago. Of course, we had we've got LeBron James, who's a famous basketball player. And of course, we've got the Ginger Windsor himself, Prince Harry. No matter what you think about it, he's still royal. However, the deaths are going to be quite sad in terms of pop culture media. You've got, oh, rest in peace to the legendary Marvin Gaye, of course. Of course, in 1984 we've lost Eric Morecambe, one half of Morecambe and Wise. And I know old Jim Jam movies and TV, I think may have picked this up, but I can't visually remember what his name is, but he used to have a Fez on, and he died live on air after having a heart attack. And answers in the comments who it is, because I'd only been about three at the time, and it aired. But again, in television was Elsie Tannerly's Coronation Street as well. Great actress she was. Pat Phoenix herself. And Diana Dawes as well passed away. She, I think, was in the video of Prince Charming by Adam and the Ants. So yeah, that's a... and also toys. What's a big toy? Over in America, the Cabbage Patch Kids was the biggest toy going in 1984. And also in 1984 over in the United Kingdom we had the Transformers first appearance. What legendary film there again. And I'm going to mention Big Steve over at Movie Chat. Great YouTuber. He's a massive fan of the original G1 series of Transformers. But also in the UK had Action Force. And of course He-Man was still going strong, and he had Return of the Jedi game, which was going strong. So that's a quick recap for 1994. Please like, share and subscribe to Mansell Media Corner, and leave in the box what is some of your highlights of 1984. I always like to read and reply back to the comments. Be some more videos coming up, like what I've watched recently, etc. So anyhow, goodbye for now and keep it retro. Thank you.